So much for the fifth committee of the investigation. These two, the minutes of the entire proceedings of the fifth investigative committee are published and available today, both in Ottoman Turkish and modern Turkish. Finally, I come to the most important aspect of Turkish documentation, the Turkish court-martial. It is a veritable mine of documentation, because prior to the court-martial, there was created an inquiry commission headed by a former Turkish Governor General Masar Inquiry Commission. This commission spent about 7 weeks collecting material for prosecution. As you know, for a criminal prosecution to be valid, it has to have a pre-trial investigation. The purpose of a pre-trial investigation is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to proceed with trial. This was the purpose of the Masar Inquiry Commission, to see whether they could have sufficient evidence to proceed with court-martial. And Masar Inquiry Commission amassed an enormous documentary material. Enormous. And fortunately, some of this material survived because Armenian employees of the Masar Inquiry Commission copied some of the documents at night, and they are available today in the Jerusalem Armenian Patriarchate archives. You can't find them in Turkey today. I give you an example of what kind of documentation the Masar Inquiry Commission acquired in order to proceed with court-martials. From one province, Ankara province alone, 42 documents were supplied to Masar Inquiry Commission. Most of these documents deal with telegraphic exchange between two Turkish military commanders. The deputy commander of the 5th Army Corps in Ankara, I forgot the name, is communicating with the deputy commander of the 15th Division stationed in Kayseri. And they are exchanging. The deputy commander of the 5th Ankara is the superior of the commander of the Kayseri's 15th Division. And there are ciphers that have been deciphered. For instance, one cipher telegraph says, today 340 Armenians from this village have been deported, and before their destination they were killed. Katledildiler. Original telegraph cipher says that is, they were dispatched to their destination. The commander in Ankara ciphers writes back saying, what do you mean dispatched to their destination? The answer comes within 1 hour. He says, Katledildiler, they were killed. Think of it. Here's an official document between two military commanders in which Armenians are being deported. First, there's a cover language, dispatched to a destination. Then, upon the insistence of the commander, the code word is dismissed, and then the real word is used. They were killed off. Deportation ends with killing of the deportees. So the tribunal acquired dozens and dozens of ciphers between two military commanders, exchanging concrete data as to what happens to the Armenian deportees. And these were used in the court-martial. This is from Ankara province alone, 42. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today, many Turks are trying to dismiss these documents, saying that this was defeated Turkey, there was the pressure of the French and the English, the occupying forces, and therefore the authenticity of these documents are subject to question. Precisely for this reason, the Turkish court-martial authorities did something which needs to be repeated again and again to all those who keep denying the genocide. Before being used in the trial, each and every document were scrutinized by competent authorities in the Interior Ministry to verify whether or not it's authentic. And following verification, on top of each document, on the right hand of the document on the corner, the following stamp was used. It conforms to the original. In Turkish, aslına muafıktır. There you have it. Wartime documents which have nothing to do with post-war politics. Wartime documentation authenticated by Turkish officials. And let me add to you that most of these Interior Ministry officials were young Turk Ittihat Terakki Party partisans, but they had no choice but to verify. In other words, the Interior Ministry, Justice Ministry, the police, they were all holdovers of the old criminal regime, Ittihat Terakki Party, and yet they verified, they authenticated documents. This authentication of wartime documents is the most crucial aspect of Turkish documentation. It transcends all arguments of politics. Now, during the trial, during the court-martial trial, initially they were all military commanders. Court-martials are military tribunals. Initially they were mixed, but within months it became entirely militarized. So they were representative of the War Ministry, the prosecutor was representative of the Justice Ministry, and the documentation verification came from the Interior. Yeah, it was an entirely Turkish business. At the end, verdicts were issued, and I will deal with them shortly. But this is the essence of Turkish documentation: parliamentary debates, a parliamentary commission, and then court-martial. Let me now move to the second pillar of documentation, the German documentation, because I have a lot more to say and I have to be brief. The German documentation has extraordinary significance because, as I mentioned before, Imperial Germany was a military and political ally of Ottoman Turkey.